and graduated from Valley View High School in 1998. He attended Boise State University in 2000, but enlisted in the United States Marine Corps in 2003, where he served as an infantry squad leader until 2007. After serving his country, CD went back to Boise State and earned a bachelor's degree in business administration and human resource management in 2011, while also serving in the Idaho Air National Guard. In 2013, CD continued his career of service by recruiting for the Air National Guard for 2 years before coming to the high school admissions consultant with Stevens Henniger College in 2015. Also in 2015, CD started two distinctly different businesses, leveraging the talent and experience of his wife Ashley as operations director and utilizing his own marketing mindset and networking abilities. He recently completed his master's degree in entrepreneur with Independence University. In late 2016, CD was offered an amazing position with the State of Idaho Department of Education to run a federal grant specializing in college matriculation called Gear Up. Gear Up gave CD the opportunity to see the public side of Idaho's education system, and he was able to collaborate with all Idaho's colleges and universities. After a year and a half with the state, CD was given the opportunity to return to Stephen Henniger in a role that allowed him to work as an agent at the state and aligning Stephen Henniger's private education to the governor's 60% college completion goal. CD is passionate about helping Idaho's teens find their own passions and link it to their career paths. From volunteering with Idaho Youth Challenge Academy to networking with programs like Life's Kitchen, Treasure Valley Educational Partnership, and the Educate Idaho Network, his dream is to increase Idaho's college and graduation rates by educating teens, teachers, and counselors on the advantages of career and technical education. Please help me welcome CD Breshears.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It was a lovely drive out here. As you heard or may not have heard, I'm from the Treasure Valley, so the commute was awesome. Except that this time of year, at 7 o'clock, the sun is right in your face the whole way here. I just wanted to give a little shout out to whoever came up with the Believe in Yourself theme and then the BU. It is awesome. In fact, I was developing this presentation to go around. I speak at high schools all the time, almost every day. So it was a real big honor when I was asked to speak here, and then when I found out the conference theme was Believe in Yourself, I was like, perfect, because that's exactly what my presentation is all about believing in yourself. How many of you guys have a plan for life after high school? Okay, that's good. How many of you guys just want to make it to life after high school? Perfect. Yeah. So let me start with a little bit of bad news. Okay? I know, motivational speaker. Let me start out with some bad news. Life has a tendency to punch you right in the face. Okay? What I mean by that is we've got these plans, we got these goals, we got these hopes, we got these dreams. And then life happens. And life happens a little bit harder when you exit living with mommy and daddy. When you exit the safe haven of high schools and mentors and teachers that care about you. Guess who takes all those hits from life right on the chin? It's you guys, right? I know. Mike Tyson, if you've ever heard that name before, he was pretty much known for one hit and you're toast. Okay? You're done. And he said that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to keep going when life kicks you right in the gut, or punches you in their face, or whatever metaphor pleases you. I like to use punch in the face or punch to the gut because sometimes that's what it feels like. Do any of you guys know somebody where life has hit them so hard they just stay on the ground? Okay? I do. It's sad to see, it's sad to watch, and I'm not talking about when life hits you and you go to the ground, because sometimes we can't help it. We take a hit and down we go, and it hurts, and we bleed, and we cry. But we eventually wipe the tears, take a shower, and get back out there, right? I'm talking about the people that take a hit and that's it. All their hopes, their dreams, their plan, it's done. They give up on themselves. So you can see how I'm a little bit passionate about believing in yourself. This presentation is called I Am Rocky, and I'm going to need some audience participation. And because I got here during your warm-up, I know you guys can be super loud. Okay? So, my presentation is called I Am Rocky. Okay? So, when you guys see me count off like this, the thumb is I, this is am, and guess what this is?
Rocky.
Rocky. Okay, let's give it a try. Ready?
I am Rocky.
Isn't it creepy when people say things in unison? I think it is, but I digress a little bit. Let's try it one more time. Ready?
I am Rocky.
All right, click please. All right, how many of you guys know who this guy is? Sylvester Stallone. How many of you guys know him as Rocky? Okay, the beautiful thing about this story, as I told you, it's kind of sad. It's a sad story I'm about to tell you. But we know it has a happy ending because we know Sylvester Stallone has done a lot of stuff in his life. He's a Hollywood icon. In fact, click once, please. On the left side, you'll see just a few of the things that he has been awarded in his life. Click one more time. Also, on the right, you'll see more of the things he's done in his lifetime. Now, when I Googled Sylvester Stallone awards, there were hundreds. So I had to comb through and find the ones that I thought were the most relevant to you. The first one I want you guys to take notice of is in the upper left. Best drama written directly for the screen. What movie was it?
Rocky.
Rocky, okay. Best drama written directly for the screen in 1976. Another one I want you guys to take notice of is the second one on the right-hand side. What does that say?
Best supporting actor.
Or what?
Rocky.
All right, so we've got a happy ending to the story, so I want you guys to hold on because it gets sad. If you've ever heard the story of Sylvester Stallone before, it's Rocky. Okay, at best. I know. The rest of you will get that on the walk home. But I want you guys to notice some other awards up here. Best Supporting Actor for Creed, which, by the way, if you notice, Creed, he also wrote. Outstanding Motion Picture, 2015. Now, Rocky's my generation. Creed is yours, right? Creed is the Rocky of the Gen Xers, the Gen Zers, and the Millennials. But I want you also to notice Lifetime Achievement. Star of Stars. Star of the Year. Now, Star of Stars, that sounds like a big deal, right? That's something that you want to award Iron Man. Right? I'm sad that Iron Man and Captain America are, well, they're not going to make it through this next movie. I don't think. In case you didn't know. I don't think it's going to happen because their contract is kaput. But I'm a Spider-Man fan anyway. And so I'm really happy that Marvel owns Spider-Man again. Because it was brutal there for a while, right? If you're a Spider-Man fan. But you look up here and you can see Sylvester Stallone has just done so much and been awarded so much. But there was a time when Sylvester Stallone was just a kid in a classroom. Okay? He didn't know any of the stuff that you now know about himself. So I want you guys to think about yourself and go, just a kid in a classroom, I've got all these hopes and dreams for after high school. And you may not have raised your hand when I said if you've got hopes and dreams, but you do. Your parents may be like, you don't care about anything, but you do. Your teachers may say, you just need to apply yourself, and your reply would probably be the same as mine is, give me a reason. I don't want to solve for X. Right? And when you solve for X, and you think that you've got that down, what do? They throw in a Y. So now you've got half the alphabet in your numbers. And then when you get that down, who said solving for I? You get imaginary, they're making stuff up in high school math. You're solving for stuff that isn't even real, it's imaginary. Okay? But of course, I get off on these little tangents, so I apologize. Hey, can everybody hear me when I pace? Because I'm horrendously ADOS, which is attention deficit shiny. So it's even worse than ADHD. But we can all agree that there was a time when Sylvester Stallone was just a kid in a classroom. But he did have a goal. He did have hopes and dreams. And one of them was to be a screenwriter. Check, right? We know he got that one. But let's go back to when he was just a kid in a classroom. Rocky had not existed. It's not even an idea. And, click please. This is what Sylvester Stallone looked like when he was just a kid in a classroom. On the left is a very young Sylvester Stallone, younger than you guys. Who can tell me a little bit about the way he looks? Is it normal?
It looks goofy.
He looks goofy? You're not gonna insult me, but if you said that to him, well, I don't know, I might get a punch to the face, right? He looks a little different. Now, if you don't know, Sylvester Stallone has paralyzed muscles in his face. And what you guys may not realize is the muscles in your face control a lot of your expression. And so it looks a little bit like his face is drooping. Okay? Because he's paralyzed in a lot of the muscles in his face. It affects his eyes. And most notably, it affects his what? His speech, yes. Yes, the way he talks. Because if you can't control the muscles in your face, he tends to get a little bit, it sounds almost lazy. Plus he's got a really thick accent. So he's got this slow sounding face droop, which I'm sure in high school, oh thank you, she's giving me an advance notice here. She's cheating for that side and this side not, okay? But what you guys need to realize is being a kid in a classroom, that probably sucked. Okay? How many of you guys, and you don't have to raise your hand, have been made fun of for the way you look or talk or say or do? For me, I was this tall in high school, 9th grade. I was 6 foot. Right now I'm 210 and I'm still pretty thin, right? I mean, I've got the dad bod just a little bit. Okay? But in high school, I was 50 pounds lighter. You could grab onto my spine through my stomach. I had to run around in the shower just to get wet. And I had to not step on the drain because I thought I might sprain my ankle. Okay, I got made fun of a little bit for being really skinny. I also got made fun of a little bit for talking a lot. So I want you guys to think, Sylvester Stallone, he's a kid in a classroom, and he probably doesn't really love school for the purpose of, there's something that sets him apart. The cool thing is there's something that sets all of us apart. I look around the room, not any of you even look the same. A lot of you go to different schools, a lot of you have different religious upbringings, a lot of you have different parent upbringings at home, the culture's different. So that's what I love about this, because we're still all here. Now Sylvester Stallone, he wanted to be a screenwriter, and so he knows he's got to move to the inner city, New York, because that's where it's happening. So he decides that I'm going to pack up and go. How many of you guys are going to pack up and totally leave after high school? Anybody? Some people are like, yeah, I'm going to leave and I'm never coming back. So, click please. The only thing that Sylvester Stallone took with him when he moved to New York was his best buddy, Butkus. Now that's K-U-S, not K-I-S-S. Butkus. It's his doggy. You want to have any fur parents in here? Yeah. I have 800 pounds of dog at home. Now granted, that's in 5 different doggy forms, but they're huge dogs. Now Butkus is also a huge dog. Butkus grows up to be huge. Probably 170, 180 pounds. One of my dogs is 170. One of my dogs can put its paws up on my shoulders and look me right in the eye. Of course, she's got the saddest expression ever. She always looks like she's the saddest dog except the big dog. And she does the head tilt perfectly. But I can get that if I was moving, I would take my dogs. So he takes his dog to New York City, and with the dream of being a playwright. Now life, guess what? Punches him in the face a little bit, thanks. Punches him in the face just a little bit when he gets to New York, because if you don't know anything about New York, it's huge. It's people on top of people on top of people on top of people. when I was there, I'm just like looking, I cannot believe how many people live on people. And you just walk the streets and everything, the buildings all look like they're doing this. Have you ever seen that? Anyone ever been downtown in a big city? Looks like all the skyscrapers are bending over you. It's creepy. So, life punches him in the face, and what I mean by that is he doesn't go there and become a screenwriter overnight, famous overnight. He's struggling to just get work. So not just struggling in his dream, he's struggling just to survive. Click this. Now one time, no, I'm not going to show you the rest of this picture. Now one time he got to watch Muhammad Ali fight. Is that a name you guys recognize? Okay, that's a name you recognize. He got to watch Muhammad Ali fight, and he got inspired. Have any of you guys been in an actual light bulb moment where you actually almost feel the light bulb go ding? If you haven't, it's fun. And so what he did is he went home after that, watching that fight, and he wrote the Rocky screenplay in 20 straight hours. Now, how many of you guys have ever sat down and worked on anything for 20 straight hours? Couple? I have. I've also been, because I'm so ADOS, I get these periods of total laser focus. And I didn't know that until until I got my first cubicle job, which, by the way, so I'm in my first cubicle job, and I get these projects, and I get so focused, I forget to eat, I forget to go to the bathroom. I'm so into whatever I'm doing that by the time my body totally rebels against me, I'm like limping to the bathroom going, oh my gosh, I'm dragging my foot. But I have to think that that's how Sylvester Stallone felt in 20 straight hours writing Rocky. But now Sylvester Stallone has something that he needs to make his dream come true, right? Rocky. He's got the script right in front of him. 20 straight hours of work. He's got to be super stoked at this time. So he goes to the first production studio that he can think of. What's your name? Natalie? Speaking of the youngest. So Natalie Production Studios, Sylvester Stallone hands the script to Natalie. She reads through it. What do you think she thinks?
No.
It's green.
She thinks it's awesome.
Oh.
Because it was. She thinks it was awesome. And she goes, Sylvester, I'll make you a deal. I'll buy your script from you. And Sylvester Stallone says, okay, but I have one condition. What is it?
I want to be in it.
I am Rocky. See, you guys already forgot. Ready? Let's try it again. He's got one condition. What is it?
I am Rocky.
Creepy. Sweet. Awesome. And what do you think Natalie's reply is? Yeah. For one, you have no acting experience. You have no writing experience. This is your first. And direct quote, not from Natalie, but direct quote from the production studio is, you look and you talk funny. Why are we going to cast you as lead in a movie that we produce when you look and you talk funny? Well, Rocky goes, fine then. Takes the script and goes to the next production studio. What's your name? Javier. Javier?
Javier?
Thank you! There was a little crack in there, I think. So, Javier reads the script. What do you think he thinks?
Awesome.
It's awesome. I love it. This is great. I'll buy it from you. Sylvester Stallone says, I got one condition.
I am Rocky.
Cool. Okay, we're getting back in it. Javier goes, what? You're not Rocky. You look funny and you talk funny. You haven't acted in anything. So Sylvester Stallone picks up stuff and goes from production studio to production studio to production studio. They all say the same thing, you got a great script, but you ain't Rocky. Now, I want you guys to think about how much worse this story's going to get. As I say with a smile, because we know it ends happily. Sylvester Stallone is now living in the bus station. Now, have you guys ever even touched the floor of a bus station? Gross, right? Like, ugh. And this is where he's living with his dog. I gotta think that he was probably losing hope about Rocky, right? But he doesn't give up. He goes from production studio to production studio. Again, the people that told him no. Till he finally gets to... I can tell those eyes. I'm going to call you. What's your name? Amy. Finally, Amy goes, I love this script. I think that this is a really great script. So I'm going to make you a deal. I'll give you $350,000 for your movie on one condition. You ain't Rocky. Okay, so there was only about 3 people in the room that raised their hand when I said, have you ever worked on something for 20 hours? Now, who out of those people has made $350,000 in those 20 hours? Look around the room. Okay, so that would be great money. And I want you guys to think about, he's living in a bus station. He's starving. His dog is starving. He has no place to live. He has no place in the world that's his. And Amy has the answer to all of his problems. I'll give you $350,000. That would probably buy him 4, 5, 6 years in New York to pursue his dream of being a screenwriter. Which, by the way, this could be it. This could be the answer, except for one annoying little detail. What is it?
I am Rocky.
So he tells Amy, thanks, I'm Rocky. And so he goes back to the bus station, and this is the part that I think is really hard. Because if you were Sylvester Stallone's friend, okay, you're a 20-something, you're his best buddy, you see that him and his dog are starving, you're visiting him in the bus station, how many of you guys would be like, take the money! What are you doing? Right? The answer to all your problems is right here. This is why you moved here. And the reason that would be, that's so difficult, is because if you research successful people, the person that hit them in the face the hardest is usually somebody they know. And the reason is not because the people you know can hurt you the deepest. It's because the people don't have what you have inside you. And so when you're sitting down talking to Sylvester Stallone and you're living in his environment and you're seeing him struggle, you want to take the money. Because you're not Rocky. That's not inside you. But that was inside Sylvester Stallone. And so, instead of getting slapped in the face and going back to Amy, please, I'll take the offer. I'll take the offer. Which was probably still good, right? Because it's still a script. He goes back to production studio after production studio. And here's the word no. It gets so bad, right? We're going to get worse. Can we get worse? Yeah. It gets so bad that he stands outside of a liquor store and sells his dog like scalped tickets. Meaning, do you want a dog?